Yeah,
Of course.
She's so down to earth.
Yes.
I mean, you could just chat with her about anything all day long.
The world of celebrities is always full of secrets and unexpected stories. Names that seem completely unrelated turn out to be siblings, parents, and children, or members of the same family. For instance, did you know that Snoop Dogg and Brandy are cousins? Or that Beyoncé has another sister? These are just a few of the countless secrets waiting to be revealed. What other secrets are still hidden? What shocking relationships are yet to be uncovered? Join us as we explore the unexpected family connections of some of the biggest stars. And rest assured, the final name on this list will not disappoint you. Beyoncé and Bianca Lawson, the mysterious connection. Bianca Lawson, a renowned actress known for her powerful roles and emotional depth, probably never imagined her life would be intertwined with one of the most influential families in the entertainment industry. Yet destiny had other plans, revealing a unique bond between her and Beyoncé, the queen of pop music. They are half-sisters. Matthew Knowles, Beyoncé's father, had a relationship before marrying Tina Knowles, and from that relationship, Bianca was born. It all began on a gloomy afternoon 2 years ago. While cleaning her father Matthew Knowles' office, Beyoncé stumbled upon an old folder. Inside were faded photographs of a little girl whose eyes bore an uncanny resemblance to her own. Tucked among them was a birth certificate. Father's name, Matthew Knowles. Mother's name, Denise Lawson. Beyoncé stood frozen. It felt like a missing piece of her life puzzle had suddenly surfaced, but it came with a wave of chaos. Bianca Lawson, Matthew's child from an affair. She was Beyoncé's half-sister. The news felt like a sharp blade cutting into Beyoncé's heart, a woman who had always prided herself on her picture-perfect family image. Instead of confronting the truth, she chose silence, tucking the folder away in a drawer and pretending she had never discovered it. But the truth cannot stay hidden forever. One day, during a family gathering, Bianca appeared alongside Matthew. "We need to talk," he said, his voice trembling. In the suffocating room, Matthew confessed everything. Tina, Beyoncé's mother, stood up with tears streaming down her face. "I've known for a long time. But I stayed silent for the sake of the children." Beyoncé felt her world crumble. She screamed, questioning her father. Bianca sat quietly, her eyes filled with both pain and pride. "I didn't want to hurt you," Bianca said, her voice soft as a breeze. "But I can't live in the shadows forever." After everything, Beyoncé and Bianca decided to try building a relationship. They understood that neither of them was at fault. The blame lay with a selfish father and buried mistakes of the past. However, this relationship was not easy. Every conversation was a challenge, every hug carried the weight of painful memories. Since then, the bond between the two sisters, while not as close as those who grow up under the same roof, has been built on a foundation of respect and love. Bianca frequently appears at major Knowles family events, and Beyoncé has publicly expressed her support for her sister's acting career on several occasions. Looking back, it's undeniable that both women embody strength and resilience. Beyoncé, with her influence that transcends all boundaries, is not just a superstar, but also someone willing to confront the hidden corners of her family to find a way to heal. Meanwhile, Bianca, with her calmness and determination, has overcome the wounds of her childhood to carve out her place in the entertainment industry while maintaining harmony with her family. Pharrell Williams and Timbaland, two brothers, two styles. Pharrell Williams and Timbaland, two legends in the global music industry, with hits that have shaken the foundations of the music world, are not just collaborators but also distant cousins. Interestingly, they remained unaware of this relationship for most of their lives. The story began in 2001 when Pharrell was working in the studio with Timbaland. During a casual conversation, the two discovered that their families came from the same small town in Virginia. A quick genealogy investigation was conducted, and an unexpected truth was revealed: they were distant cousins, sharing a common great-grandfather. That revelation was a huge surprise for both of them. Timbaland, who has always taken pride in his family roots, laughed and said, "That's why we've always understood each other so well." Pharrell, with his signature smile, simply responded, "We were born to make music together." However, their relationship soon hit a rough patch in the early 2000s when both were at the peak of their careers. Timbaland, who had already gained fame for his work with Missy Elliott and Justin Timberlake, felt that Pharrell and his production team, the Neptunes, was encroaching on his territory, a unique musical style blending hip-hop and R&B. According to industry insiders, Timbaland believed that Pharrell had borrowed certain elements of his production style to create hits like Justin Timberlake's Rock Your Body. Timbaland, known for his candid and sometimes fiery personality, once publicly stated in an interview, "I have no problem with Pharrell, but it's clear that I paved the way for a lot of people. And sometimes, they don't acknowledge that." While he didn't name names, many believed the comment was directed at Pharrell. Tensions escalated as Pharrell and the Neptunes won numerous major awards and dominated the charts with a string of hits, while Timbaland, despite his continued success, struggled to maintain his once unrivaled position. Mutual friends revealed that during a studio meeting, Timbaland angrily confronted Pharrell about who truly ruled the music industry. The argument led nowhere but created a rift between the two for years. However, this drama didn't last forever. Both seemed to realize that, despite their differences in style and artistic egos, they were still family. In a rare joint interview in 2013, Timbaland admitted, "Pharrell and I have had our disagreements. But that's natural. Family members argue sometimes." Now, the relationship between Pharrell and Timbaland has been repaired. They not only appear together at major events, but have also collaborated on several music projects. The past drama between them has become an interesting testament to the competitiveness of the music industry, a place where even family relationships aren't immune to clashes. Snoop Dogg and Brandy/Ray J, a family full of talent. Few people know that Snoop Dogg, a global rap icon, is actually the cousin of Brandy and Ray J, two prominent stars in the R&B scene. Although they share the same bloodline, their relationship hasn't always been smooth. Beneath the glitz and glamour of all three lies a story that has rarely been told. From a young age, Brandy always felt there was something peculiar about her family. Her grandmother would often mumble old stories about a distant grandson, a rebellious child that the family preferred not to mention. However, as Brandy grew up, she started seeing that name everywhere, Snoop Dogg. Every time she turned on the TV or the radio, his name came up. Ironically, his rap voice felt strangely familiar, as if it were a part of her own being. One day, backstage at a major performance, Brandy overheard a conversation between her mother and a relative. "Do Brandy and Ray know about Calvin?" the relative asked. Her mother replied, her voice tense, "No. They don't need to know. Snoop isn't someone they should be involved with." Brandy's heart raced. Calvin? That was Snoop Dogg's real name. And so, the family secret began to unfold. Her mother had tried to shield her children from the family's black sheep simply because Snoop's image was tied to drugs, violence, and rebellion, a true outlaw. Their relationship wasn't easy. Brandy and her brother Ray J struggled to understand Snoop's world, a world filled with battles, feuds, and unspoken pain. At the same time, Snoop had to come to terms with the fact that Brandy and Ray, with their squeaky clean and polished careers, were part of the family he had once distanced himself from. During a rare family gathering, Brandy looked at Snoop, who was laughing and joking with Ray J. "You know," she said, "we're not just blood. We're pieces of the same story. And I think, if we put the pieces together, the story would be more beautiful." Today, Snoop Dogg, Brandy, and Ray J often collaborate in music. They are not only famed artists, but also symbols of family bonds that triumph over adversity. While Snoop still carries the image of a carefree player, deep down, he's incredibly proud of his two cousins, the shining stars in his life. Spike Lee and Joie Lee's the mysterious sibling duo. Spike Lee, celebrated as a storytelling genius, grew up in an artistic yet challenging household. Their father, Bill Lee, was a talented but strict musician, and their mother, Jacqueline, was a teacher who constantly fought to keep the family together. Joie Lee always lived in her brother Spike's shadow. From a young age, Spike was the one the family pinned their hopes on, the one expected to achieve greatness. Meanwhile, Joie, with her bright eyes and vivid imagination, often felt overlooked. Their strict parents focused all their efforts on ensuring Spike would become the pride of the family, while Joie's love for the arts was frequently overshadowed. But Spike was not a thoughtless older brother. He was always aware of Joie's quiet dissatisfaction. He knew his sister had a unique creative mind, but in a family where all expectations rested on his shoulders, Joie was forced to take the back seat. The real story began when Spike Lee made his name with his debut film She's Gotta Have It. At the time, Joie, struggling to find her way into the film industry, approached him with determination. "You always say you want to tell authentic stories," Joie said, her eyes blazing. "So why not let me tell mine?" Spike was hesitant at first. Joie was his sister, and he didn't want to be accused of nepotism. But when Joie handed him a script she had been quietly working on, Spike realized that she wasn't just his sister, she was a true artist, with a powerful and unique voice. The two began collaborating. Joie not only acted in Spike's films, but also contributed to screenwriting and character development. Yet, their partnership wasn't always smooth. Joie, with her strong personality and desire for recognition, often clashed with her brother on set. During the production of Do the Right Thing, Joie stormed off the set after Spike refused to adjust a scene she believed didn't make sense. "You always think you're right," she shouted. "But this isn't just your story. It's ours." That night, although Spike appeared indifferent, he spent hours revisiting the script. By morning, he admitted Joie was right. "You're not just my sister," he told her. "You're the person I need to tell these stories." Today, Spike and Joie Lee continue to collaborate, but their relationship has evolved. They've grown to understand that, despite arguments and disagreements, they share the same roots and the same deep passion for storytelling. Together, they've proven that family bonds, combined with artistic vision, can create narratives that resonate deeply with audiences worldwide. John David Washington, finding his own light in the shadow of a legend. John David Washington, one of Hollywood's rising stars, has faced not only the challenges of building a career in the film industry, but also the daunting task of stepping out from the immense shadow of his father, Denzel Washington, one of the greatest actors of all time. From a young age, John David was acutely aware of his lineage. Denzel Washington wasn't just an exceptional actor, he was a symbol of excellence and discipline. Their home was filled with accolades, golden Oscars, prestigious certificates, and countless awards. But amid all the glittering trophies, John David saw only his own reflection, a boy struggling to find his own identity apart from his father's towering legacy. "I'll never be able to do what you do," John David once blurted out during an emotional night, after yet another instance of being called Denzel Washington's son. Denzel, who had been reading a script, calmly closed the book, looked directly at his son, and asked, "Who said you have to do what I do?" His tone was firm yet gentle. "You don't need to be me. You just need to be you." But those words weren't enough to ease the pressure John David carried. Determined to carve out his own path, he initially pursued a career in professional football, aiming to establish his identity outside of the film industry. However, when his sports career was cut short by an injury, he was forced to confront the question that had haunted him his entire life: who did he truly want to be? John David eventually turned to acting, a world where his father's name was a near mythical presence. At first, he hid his connection to Denzel, taking on small roles to prove himself. But the truth couldn't stay hidden forever. When he landed a starring role in HBO's Ballers, people instantly recognized him as Denzel Washington's son. And then came the comparisons he had dreaded. "He's good, but is he as good as his father?" articles speculated. From a distance, Denzel watched his son's journey. He didn't interfere or call directors to secure roles for John David. He wanted his son to find his own way, to stumble and rise on his own. But he also knew that behind all the effort was a quiet pain he couldn't take away. The turning point came when John David landed the lead role in Spike Lee's Black KK Klansman. This role didn't just mark a breakthrough in his career, it was a moment of liberation. When the film received an Oscar nomination, John David looked at his father during the ceremony and, for the first time, felt that he wasn't just Denzel Washington's son. He was himself, a true actor. Today, the relationship between Denzel and John David has entered a new chapter. They are no longer simply father and son on set, but two men, two actors, two kindred spirits. And so, in the dazzling world of cinema, the two stars, one seasoned, one rising, continue to shine, each illuminating the industry in their own unique way. Gabrielle Union and Saweetie, the bond between two generations. Gabrielle Union, the celebrated actress known for her elegance and resilience, never imagined that her life would take a surprising turn due to an unexpected revelation at a family gathering in 2018. In the cozy warmth of a kitchen filled with laughter and conversation, an older aunt casually dropped a bombshell. "Gabrielle, did you know that Saweetie is your cousin?" The words hit Gabrielle like a bolt of lightning. Her jaw dropped as she stared at her aunt, trying to process what sounded like an unbelievable story. Saweetie, the bold rapper with chart-topping hits and audacious style, was actually her blood relative? Gabrielle didn't hesitate. She immediately reached out to Saweetie, who at the time had no idea about their familial connection either. Their first phone call was an emotional exchange. Gabrielle, her voice a mix of shock and excitement, asked, "Did you know we're family? We're really related." On the other end, Saweetie hesitated before responding, "Really? I had no idea." Yet beneath her voice was a sense of emotion, as though she had just discovered a missing piece of her family puzzle. However, this newfound relationship wasn't without its challenges. Gabrielle, who had always maintained a polished and refined public image, sometimes struggled to accept Saweetie's bold and, at times, provocative style. During one private meeting, Gabrielle candidly said, "You're incredibly talented, but I worry that your style is sometimes too revealing. I don't want the world to misjudge you." Gabrielle's words, though spoken out of concern, left Saweetie feeling hurt. She retorted, "I'm not here to please the world. This is who I am. I can't live in a box like you." The tension between them peaked when Gabrielle, during an interview, casually mentioned their family connection and expressed her concern about the pressures Saweetie might be facing. The story quickly spread across social media, and Saweetie felt blindsided, as though she had been thrust into the spotlight without warning. She called Gabrielle, her voice filled with frustration, "You didn't have the right to talk about me like that, especially when I wasn't ready to go public with this." Her words struck Gabrielle deeply, making her realize she had overstepped. Yet, it was through these clashes that they began to understand each other better. Gabrielle, with her wisdom and experience, learned to step back and allow Saweetie the freedom to chart her own path. Meanwhile, Saweetie, despite her fiery personality, came to appreciate that Gabrielle's intentions were rooted in genuine care. In 2020, when Saweetie faced public criticism about her music and style, Gabrielle publicly defended her on social media. "Saweetie isn't just an artist. She's a strong woman unafraid to live her truth. I'm proud to call her family." Today, Gabrielle and Saweetie are more than just cousins, they're close allies. They often appear together at events and collaborate on campaigns promoting confidence and authenticity for women. Their bond, forged through both misunderstandings and mutual love, stands as a testament to the power of family and the strength found in embracing one's individuality. Aretha Franklin and Whitney Houston, a tragic relationship. Aretha Franklin, the Queen of Soul, and Whitney Houston, the voice of a generation, were connected not just by their immense talent and fame, but also by a deep familial bond. Aretha was Whitney's godmother. However, their relationship was far from the idyllic tale of mentorship between two musical icons. It was filled with secrets, unspoken tensions, and heartbreaking moments that resonate long after their lives ended. The story began with the close friendship between Aretha Franklin and Cissy Houston, Whitney's mother. Cissy, a renowned backup singer, was one of Aretha's closest friends. When Whitney was born, Aretha agreed to become her godmother, a gesture of love and friendship for the Houston family. However, Whitney grew up unaware of this special connection. Sissy and Aretha decided to keep it a secret, wanting Whitney to carve her own path in music without the added pressure of being linked to the towering legacy of the Queen of Soul. Whitney only discovered this connection in 1983, shortly after signing her contract with Arista Records and preparing to release her debut album. During a family gathering, Sissy revealed the truth: "Aretha isn't just my friend, she's your godmother." Whitney was stunned, her eyes reflecting both wonder and apprehension. Beneath the joy of learning this truth lay a growing sense of pressure. My godmother is Aretha Franklin? How can I ever live up to that? When Whitney officially entered the music industry, Aretha sent her a short but meaningful letter. "You don't need to become another Aretha. You just need to be yourself and let your voice tell your story." While Aretha was always supportive of Whitney, their relationship wasn't without its tensions. Aretha, known for her strong personality and no-nonsense demeanor, sometimes felt frustrated with Whitney's increasingly extravagant lifestyle and personal choices. In 2004, Aretha publicly expressed disappointment at how Whitney had allowed her career and voice to decline. Hurt by these remarks, Whitney responded in an interview, "I love Mother Aretha, but I'm not her replica. I have my own life to live." Those words, though honest, cut the already fragile bond between them. Their relationship, once marked by a sense of mentorship and pride, became strained and distant. Despite their differences, Aretha and Whitney shared a connection that ran deeper than words. Aretha's disappointment came from a place of love and concern, while Whitney, burdened by the weight of expectations, struggled to assert her independence. Their story is one of love, complexity, and heartbreak, a reflection of both the beauty and the tragedy of fame. When Whitney tragically passed away in 2012, Aretha was devastated. In a heartfelt tribute, she said, "Whitney wasn't just my goddaughter. She was family. Her voice could move mountains, and her spirit will live on forever." Aretha's grief was a poignant reminder of the unconditional love she carried for Whitney, despite the difficulties in their relationship. Looking back on their bond, the world sees not only the tensions and conflicts, but also the deep, complex love between Aretha Franklin and Whitney Houston. Aretha, with her strength and grandeur, sought to guide and protect Whitney, even as she wrestled with the pain of seeing her goddaughter struggle. Whitney, with her immense talent and human vulnerabilities, embodied both the brilliance and the tragedy of fame. Together, their relationship is a bittersweet reminder of the pressures of legacy, the fragility of human connections, and the enduring power of love. Quincy Jones and Rashida Jones, when talent is a family legacy. Quincy Jones is a father with a magnetic presence, immensely talented, charming, but also overwhelming. As the legendary music producer behind timeless masterpieces like Michael Jackson's Thriller and Grammy-winning film scores, Quincy was revered as a genius by the world. But for Rashida, he was more than a cultural icon, he was a distant father. Constantly touring and working around the clock, Quincy left Rashida and her siblings to grow up in a luxurious mansion that often felt empty. From a young age, Rashida felt the weight of the Jones name. Family gatherings were star-studded affairs featuring legends like Frank Sinatra, Ray Charles, and Steven Spielberg. When Rashida expressed her dream of pursuing the arts, Quincy laughed heartily, half joking, "What are you going to do? Write music? Or do you think you can become another legend in this family?" His words made Rashida feel as though her dreams could never measure up to the greatness associated with the Jones name. Determined to find her own path, Rashida chose to step away from music and instead pursued acting and screenwriting. Yet, even as she achieved success, the comparisons to her father never ceased. "She's only famous because she's Quincy Jones' daughter," one article claimed, making Rashida feel as though her hard work was constantly overshadowed. The turning point came when Rashida co-produced the documentary Quincy, a film that told the story of her father's life. During the filmmaking process, Rashida gained a deeper understanding of the sacrifices, pressures, and loneliness Quincy endured to achieve his legendary status. She realized that her father's shadow wasn't a burden but a legacy she could embrace with pride. Today, Rashida is a successful actress, writer, and producer, while Quincy remains an eternal icon of music. Their relationship, once marked by tension and misunderstandings, has blossomed into one of mutual respect and profound empathy. It's a testament to the idea that family is not just where we start, but also where we discover who we truly are. And while Rashida has stepped out of Quincy's shadow, she proudly stands in the light he created, carrying his torch forward as a source of inspiration for future generations. Tracee Ellis Ross and Diana Ross, the artistry in their bloodline. Tracee Ellis Ross, celebrated for her role in Black-ish, is not only a star in her own right, but also the daughter of music legend Diana Ross. However, growing up in the shadow of an icon was anything but simple. From a young age, Tracee witnessed the world's adoration for her mother. At every family gathering, conversations revolved around Diana, her legendary tours, timeless hits, and unparalleled charisma. Tracee loved her mother deeply but often felt overshadowed. Despite all the glitz and glamour, being Diana Ross's daughter was both a blessing and a burden. One evening after the Golden Globe Awards, where Tracee had just won for her role in Black-ish, tension filled the room like a storm brewing. Instead of celebrating her victory, the moment turned into a quiet interrogation. "It's always about you," Tracee said coldly, her voice trembling. "All anyone talks about is you when they mention me. I win an award, but all I hear is, oh, she's Diana Ross's daughter." Diana's arched brow rose in a brief flicker of surprise before settling back into her trademark poise. "You should be proud," she replied, her tone calm but sharp. "The name Ross is the reason you stood on that stage tonight." The words hit Tracee like a flame igniting years of bottled-up frustration. "You think the only reason I'm successful is because of your name? My entire life, I've tried to escape your shadow, and you've never let me," she shouted, tears streaming down her face. The air in the room froze. Diana's gaze softened, a flicker of hurt flashing across her eyes. Tracee stormed out of the celebration, and for weeks afterward, she kept her distance from her mother. A few weeks later, Tracee gave an interview. In it, she declared, "I love my mother. But I don't need to be her to succeed. I am me, Tracee Ellis Ross." Diana read the article in silence, her expression unreadable. But as she reached the final words, a faint smile played on her lips. Though the words stung, she knew her daughter had finally found her own voice. Eddie Murphy and Charlie Murphy, Hollywood's hilarious brothers. Eddie Murphy, the legendary comedy superstar, and his older brother Charlie Murphy, a talented but lesser-known comedian, share a family story filled with humor, emotion, and deep-seated conflicts. Charlie was Eddie's older brother, but from a young age, Eddie was always the center of attention in their family. With his natural talent and charisma, Eddie quickly rose to stardom, while Charlie struggled to find his footing. Their sibling rivalry intensified in the 1980s as Eddie became an international icon. Charlie often felt overshadowed and once said, "Everyone only sees Eddie, but they never see me." While Eddie deeply respected his brother, he didn't always know how to express it. During a heated argument, Charlie shouted, "Do you even know how much I sacrificed so you could have your success? I was always there to protect you." His words left Eddie speechless. Their bond began to heal when Charlie started contributing as a writer and actor in Eddie's projects. Eddie once remarked, "Charlie is the best big brother I could have ever asked for. He taught me how to live." When Charlie passed away in 2017, Eddie was heartbroken. At his brother's funeral, Eddie gave a tearful eulogy, saying, "Charlie wasn't just my brother. He was my hero." Their story is a testament to the strength of sibling bonds and the power of reconciliation. Samuel L. Jackson and Spike Lee, a dynamic duo in art. Samuel L. Jackson and Spike Lee are not only two Hollywood icons, but also distant relatives. However, their familial connection wasn't discovered until after they had collaborated on several films. The story began in 1991, when Spike cast Samuel in Jungle Fever. During an on-set conversation, they uncovered a shared family lineage tracing back to the South. Samuel exclaimed, "This is crazy. We've been working together all this time and didn't even know we're family." Their relationship grew closer after this revelation, though it wasn't without its challenges. Spike, known for his perfectionism, would sometimes critique Samuel's acting. Samuel, never one to back down, retorted, "I don't need to do everything your way. I'm Samuel L. Jackson." Despite their occasional clashes, their mutual respect never wavered. Spike later reflected, "Samuel isn't just an incredible actor, he's family. We might argue, but at the end of the day, we always have each other's backs." Their partnership, both personal and professional, highlights the power of collaboration and the strength of familial ties. Lenny Kravitz and Al Roker, an unexpected connection. Lenny Kravitz, the iconic rock legend with his bohemian style, and Al Roker, the veteran American TV host, seem like they belong to completely different worlds. However, few people know that they are distant cousins, a surprising connection uncovered through an old family photograph. The story began when Al Roker, while cleaning his house, stumbled upon a black and white photo of his family. In the corner of the picture, he noticed a young man with curly hair and sharp eyes, Cy Kravitz, Lenny Kravitz's father. Al was stunned. He immediately reached out to Lenny through a mutual friend, and the truth was confirmed. They were distant cousins, sharing a common great-grandfather. Their first meeting took place at a family gathering. Lenny, with his laid-back and open demeanor, joked, "I never thought I'd have a cousin who's a famous weatherman." The two quickly bonded, sharing stories about their ancestors and their vastly different lives. However, their relationship hasn't always been smooth. Al, who values tradition and dignity, once criticized Lenny for his bold personal choices. He told Lenny outright, "You should remember that our family has always cherished respectability." Lenny, unfazed, responded with a smile, "I'm just being myself. But I'm always proud of where I come from." Today, their bond has grown stronger. Despite their differences, Lenny and Al continue to celebrate their unique connection, proving that family ties can bridge even the most unexpected gaps. Michael B. Jordan and Lupita Nyong'o, the rumor of a family connection. Michael B. Jordan and Lupita Nyong'o, two stars of Black Panther, once faced a peculiar rumor that they were distant relatives. While no clear evidence has ever confirmed this claim, the speculation sparked a fascinating dynamic between them. The rumor began circulating after a fan posted on social media, claiming to have found a genealogical link between the Jordan and Nyong'o families through a branch of ancestry in Kenya. Michael, famously private about his personal life, refused to comment. Lupita, however, responded with her signature wit, joking, "If we're family, you owe me a family dinner." Even though the rumor remains unverified, it has added an intriguing layer to their relationship. On the set of Black Panther, Michael and Lupita often had playful debates about everything from acting techniques to personal habits. Once, when Lupita critiqued Michael's performance in a scene, he snapped back, "You're not my mom or sister, so stop telling me how to do my job." Despite their occasional clashes, they always made up. Lupita once told Michael, "I just want you to be the best version of yourself." That's what family does for each other, whether we're actually related or not. Today, Michael and Lupita maintain a close friendship. They often joke that if they ever discover they truly are related, they'll throw an epic family reunion. Whether or not the rumor is true, their bond exemplifies the chemistry and camaraderie that can form on and off the screen. Tia, Tamara, and Taj Mowry, a talented sibling trio. Tia and Tamara Mowry, the famous twins from the beloved sitcom Sister, have always been known for their close bond. However, not everyone is aware that they have a younger brother, Taj Mowry, who is also a talented actor. But the relationship between the three hasn't always been smooth sailing. When Tia and Tamara entered the entertainment industry, they quickly became a cultural phenomenon. Their fame, however, unintentionally overshadowed Taj, who often felt left behind. He once said, "People only saw me as Tia and Tamara's little brother. No one saw me for who I was." Tensions reached a boiling point around 2000 when Taj began starring in his own show, Smart Guy. Despite his success, he was constantly compared to his sisters. During a family meeting, Taj snapped, "Why can't people just see me as an individual?" His words left Tia and Tamara feeling hurt but also reflective. Instead of growing distant, the twins decided to support their younger brother. They actively helped Taj in his career by introducing him to producers and collaborating on joint projects. Tio once said, "We're not just siblings. We're a team." Today, the Maori siblings remain incredibly close. Their story is a testament to the strength of family bonds and the importance of lifting each other up, even in the face of challenges. Chadwick Boseman and Angela Bassett, a bond on and off screen. Chadwick Boseman and Angela Bassett, two stars of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, shared not only a mother-son relationship on screen in Black Panther, but also a unique and inspiring connection in real life. Their story began in 2000 when Angela was invited to deliver the commencement speech at Howard University. Among the sea of graduating students sat a young man with determined eyes, Chadwick Boseman. He quietly listened to her speech, unaware that fate would one day bring them together again. Years later, when Chadwick was cast as T'Challa in Black Panther, Angela discovered that he had been one of the graduates at Howard during her speech. In an interview, Chadwick told her, "You weren't just my mother on screen. You were the inspiration that pushed me to chase my dreams." Their bond deepened during the filming of Black Panther. Angela saw Chadwick as a son, and Chadwick often sought her advice. Their mutual respect and affection were evident both on and off the screen. When Chadwick tragically passed away in 2020, Angela wrote a heartfelt tribute, "From the moment I met you, I knew you were destined for greatness. You were not just an incredible actor, but an extraordinary human being." Their connection, rooted in admiration and love, remains a powerful reminder of the impact people can have on each other's lives, both personally and professionally. Through these stories, we can see that Hollywood is truly a small world where unexpected family connections are revealed. Whether it's parent-child, siblings, or distant relatives, these bonds not only enrich the narratives of the stars, but also remind us that family ties always hold an important place in life, no matter where we are. Were you surprised by these relationships? If you know of any other interesting stories, feel free to share them with us. And don't forget, there are still countless secrets in Hollywood waiting for you to uncover. All the information in this video has been gathered from reputable sources and is intended for informational purposes only. We encourage viewers to explore multiple sources to gain a well-rounded and accurate perspective. Don't forget to hit the like button, share your thoughts in the comments, and follow our channel to stay updated on future videos. Together, let's discover fascinating insights into global culture. Subscribe now to receive our latest videos as soon as they're released.